Direct and inverse variation. Variation. Two quantities are said to be in variation if the change in the measure of one results in a corresponding change in the measure of the other. In other words, two quantities are in variation if any increase or decrease in one quantity results in increase or decrease in the other. For example, if we increase the number of articles to be purchased, the total cost will also increase. Consider another example of the speed of a moving train and the time it takes to cover a distance. If the speed increases, the time taken to cover the distance decreases. Types of variation. Direct variation. Two quantities are said to be in direct variation if the increase or decrease in the measure of one results in the corresponding increase or decrease in the measure of the other. Inverse variation. Two quantities are said to be in inverse variation if the increase or decrease in the measure of one results in the corresponding decrease or increase in the measure of the other. For example, consider a rock and the force required to move it. If the weight of the rock is increased, more force is required to move it. Similarly, if the weight of the rock is reduced, less force is required to move it. So, the weight of the rock and the force required to move it are in direct variation. For example, in a road project, assuming that all the workers work at the same rate, if we increase the number of the workers, the time taken to complete the project will decrease. Similarly, if the number of workers are reduced, the time taken to complete the project will increase. Thus, the number of workers and the time taken to complete the project are in inverse variation.